I'm Steph Garcia with D1 Ticker and Connect, and I'm joined by New Mexico State Deputy AD Chet Savage to discuss the open Assistant AD for Annual Giving position with the Aggie Athletic Club. Chet, thanks for joining us.
Steph, thanks for having me.
So let's hit the ground running. Any new fundraiser obviously comes to campus and really gets going. But right now, New Mexico State has a lot of momentum with the impending move to the Conference USA. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Absolutely. Certainly that's a big thing. And when it comes to fundraising, we have some projects that we would like to get on the table for the sport of football. But the last couple seasons, we played independent, and rightfully so. It is difficult to get individuals, businesses, campus, your state to get behind a project when you're in independent or kind of temporary status. So with a move to Conference USA, what that's going to allow us to do is be on solid footing so we can start addressing some things like a new press box, so on and so forth, locker room stuff. And certainly this position could play a part in that.
Can you speak to the structure of the Aggie Athletic Club? What exactly does your staff look like, and where will this position be in the grand scheme of things?
Absolutely. Well, today you are meeting with our entire staff, but I'll talk to you about what we're building around. So certainly this assistant athletic director position for annual giving, that's going to be part of that. And really what we'll look to do is that individual, the day-to-day annual giving, which is the Aggie Athletic Club. And, certainly I'm involved in that process. My background is fundraising. In addition, we have two other positions. We have a special events position that is currently vacant, and we have an entry-level fundraising position that is also vacant. So this position is the first of the three that we're looking to address, and I'm really excited about that. I think it's always nice when you can get a new staff all together and everybody can kind of grow and understand. Nobody's considered an outsider. So that's our office. Myself, I'm heavily involved in the day-to-day, especially now since we're kind of vacant in those spots. This assistant athletic director position overseeing the annual giving of the Aggie Athletic Club, certainly some opportunities to find their way into some major gifts. And then the entry-level fundraising position, a lot of back of the house stuff, allocation of parking benefits, so on and so forth. And then the special events, a person taking care of our club areas on game day, and then certainly fundraising events throughout the year, golf tournaments, the like.
How important is it that this role has significant experience with ticket sales?
I don't think, I'm not really worried about experience beyond what the prerequisites are that campus allows us to hire. I'm more concerned with somebody who has personality, that's in it for the long haul, that wants to come, learn, have a servant's heart. That's what it's about. If somebody's looking here to for the paycheck, I think athletics is probably not the way to go. Certainly at the top of the scale, you can have a good living and a nice retirement, but it's going to take a lot of hard work to get there. And I think this position is squarely in the hard work category. We have a really good track record here at New Mexico State. Our athletic director was at the University of Missouri for a very long time, Southern Illinois, and now here I was there with his stops. So we are pretty well connected within the athletics community. And certainly when individuals see opportunities, we want them to come here see it as the opportunity. But, we don't expect anybody to cash in their retirement from New Mexico State University. We have a really good opportunity for somebody that wants to come in and learn. And I would suggest individuals that are potentially at non-football schools or FCS, sometimes it could be difficult to break into the FCS model. And this is an opportunity. New Mexico State provides a job with access to an FBS football program, and you don't necessarily have to have a ton of experience and talent behind that. We just want somebody with a can-do attitude and sees the opportunity for what it is.
What traits do you value most? Because this position will be reporting directly to you, working with you closely. What do you prioritize in a coworker?
Well, I think the ultimate goal is for somebody to anticipate the needs of the office, whether that's internally or externally. Somebody that's going to be able to have some eyes wide open, ask questions, observe, and then really be able to get a sense of the culture here. And that could be the culture within inside of this office, and that could certainly be the culture on the other side in Las Cruces, New Mexico. So somebody that's going to come in and really, use their eyes and ears and, learn some things and really mesh into our office. We are pretty aggressive. Every single day we're talking about fundraising. We're not drinking a lot of coffee around here in the morning. We don't have time for that. We get right into it. So I'm looking for somebody that's willing to roll up their sleeves, put in the hard work, and somebody that wants to be here. New Mexico is a beautiful place, but not a lot of people have been here. Individuals that have vacationed in Santa Fe or so and so forth, they've seen the beauty of the state. But when we hire positions, the fact that we're in New Mexico and very few people have ever been there, that's kind of scary. So again, if individuals are looking for some opportunities, this is a place you can find it. And it's a very beautiful place, and the food and the people are amazing.
Well, let's speak to that a little bit, because in the job description, it talks about some local regional travel. Besides Las Cruces, I imagine there's Albuquerque, there's El Paso. Where else can this position, will they be able to travel to? How far will that kind of reach?
Yeah, certainly. This individual will have the ability to go across the state, but you hit the two population centers. Here in Las Cruces, we're about 120,000, and we're 32 miles from Texas, or El Paso, Texas, home of UTEP, one of our rivals. So that's a community of about 300,000 right across the border in Juarez, Mexico. That's over 1 million people. Not that we travel over there very often these days, but nonetheless, you have a population center in El Paso, shopping, airport really close. When I was in the Midwest at Southern Illinois University, you'd land and you'd have a 2-hour drive home, from the airport, 35 minutes. So that's really convenient. The other population center is going to be 3 hours north. We're off the same interstate. It would take me 2 turns to get to Albuquerque in 3 hours.
Wow.
So that's where we have a large number of alums there. That's where the jobs are. Defense, aerospace is very big here. So we got a lot of engineers that are in the labs up north. And then the Four Corners, you have Roswell out west. You have Farmington in the northeast or northwest corner. So those are certainly all areas that we have pockets of alums, but you hit the 3: El Paso, Las Cruces, Albuquerque. That's where we focus our attention.
So the job description talks about having some digital elements when it comes to fundraising. Typically, we think about fundraisers are face-to-face, going and shaking hands, but obviously COVID has changed things. Social media has changed things. How important is it for this hire to have some significant digital media experience?
Well, for all the reasons that you mentioned, and also robocalls, I think it's important. I think a lot of fundraisers have realized you don't call people on the phone with a cold call anymore. You don't. Even if you can get somebody and explain who you are, you're not going to get a credit card from them. So the ability to work electronically, what that's going to do from a fundraising standpoint, that's going to be your ability to build trust. That could be a mass email, but it's tailored so it doesn't look as mass. And that's personal follow-ups, all these things that I would love for this person to be part of the collaboration for, pitching us ideas of things that we can do electronically. But the days of getting in the boiler room and picking up the phone, those are dead. So I think using the digital marketplace is a way that we can get inexpensive touches multiple times in between personal meetings. And, we use it, certainly email on the low end, but, we also use it to identify prospects. And so those are all the things that this individual will be a part of.
I've never been to Las Cruces. I've only really been to Albuquerque. Sell me on why Las Cruces is an amazing place to live.
The people. I've worked at 4 institutions. No fans are nicer than Aggie fans. I've been here 6 years. I don't think my phone has ever rang with a complaint. And I'm the complaint department. So that's first off. When I was at the University of Missouri, they had very passionate fans, but I had more than 0 complaints from fans. It's a very low maintenance fan base. They're very passionate. You'll always hear people, there's no money in New Mexico. There is money everywhere, and there's very philanthropic people here. The culture, When I first came here, it kind of drove me nuts. It is a little bit of the land of manana. It is a little slower. I don't notice it as much anymore, but it's really kind of enjoyable. It's not a breakneck pace here. Not to say we don't work hard. Not to say we go home when the sun's up, but nonetheless, the pace is a little bit leisurely here in New Mexico. And then also the food and the cost of living. The cost of living is low. And the food is amazing. If you have a restaurant in this town and if your food is not phenomenal, I don't care if it's a $3 taco, you're not going to be in business because there's fantastic cuisine here.
That sounds fantastic. I'm sold. I am excited. We're going to follow along with this hire very closely, and best of luck. Go Aggies.
Thank you so very much. And I'll put one more plug in Las Cruces. There's not a sunnier place in the United States. We get 360 days of sun, including today. So if you're somewhere cold and you're thinking about maybe getting a new job before the winter, I suggest New Mexico and New Mexico State.
I might have to apply. I'm not going to handle this Louisville winter here. So
wonderful.
Thank you so much, Chet.
Thanks, Steph.